The Galactic Empire's ultimatum. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way galaxy, the mighty Galactic Andromedan Empire ruled over countless star systems and civilizations, its dominance unchallenged for millennia. Yet, as the Empire's scouts observed the distant blue-green orb of Earth, a growing sense of unease began to stir within the highest echelons of the imperial court. For decades, the Andromedans had monitored the curious radio signals emanating from the primitive human homeworld, dismissing the Terrans as a harmless, technologically inferior species. But recent scans had revealed a startling truth. In the span of a few short generations, the humans had undergone a meteoric rise, rapidly constructing a vast network of orbital installations, lunar outposts, and the beginnings of Martian colonies. Moreover, their weapons technology had advanced at a breakneck pace, nearly rivaling the Andromedans' own. Alarmed by humanity's unexpected progress, Emperor Pra convened his war council, his brow furrowed with concern. This upstart Terran civilization poses a grave threat to our supremacy, he declared, his voice edged with a rare hint of unease. We must act swiftly to bring them under our control, lest they grow bold enough to challenge our dominion over the galaxy. The council erupted in heated debate, some advocating for a diplomatic approach, while others argued for a show of overwhelming force. In the end, it was the latter faction that prevailed, convincing the emperor that only a decisive military action could compel the humans to submit to Andromedan rule. With a steely resolve, Prey issued his ultimatum, dispatching a scouting vessel to the Sol system to deliver his non-negotiable demands. The Terrans will surrender unconditionally and accept their rightful place as subjects of the Galactic Andromedan Empire, the Emperor proclaimed, or face total annihilation. As the scouting ship pierced the void, its sensors detected the first signs of human defiance. Orbital installations and lunar outposts bristled with defensive armaments, while the initial scans of the Martian colonies revealed the beginnings of a burgeoning industrial base. Pra's eyes narrowed, his confidence in a swift victory bolstered by the apparent primitive nature of these human constructs. Little did the Andromedan Emperor know that deep within the Sol system, a covert project had been unfolding, one that would soon shatter his complacency and change the course of galactic history forever. Humanity's defiant response. In the heart of the Sol system, a clandestine coalition of the world's most brilliant scientific and military minds had been quietly developing a technological marvel, the Black Fleet. Driven by the grim determination to defend their homeworld from alien subjugation, these human visionaries had poured their resources and ingenuity into creating a network of advanced, stealthy warships that would become the cornerstone of Earth's defiance against the Andromedan Empire. At the forefront of this endeavor was Admiral Ricky Roberts, a seasoned veteran with a reputation for unorthodox thinking and unwavering courage. As the Andromedan scouting vessel approached Earth's orbit, Roberts and his team of experts stood ready, their fingers poised on the activation triggers of the experimental systems that would soon be put to the test. When the Andromedan ultimatum was broadcast across all frequencies, a hush fell over the bridge of the Black Fleet's flagship, the INS Indomitable. Admiral Roberts, his weathered face etched with resolve, stepped forward and addressed the alien vessel. "This is Admiral Ricky Roberts of the Terran Defense Force," he declared, his voice carrying a steely edge. "Free humanity will never bow to alien oppression. You have one chance to turn back and flee, or face the consequences of your foolish actions." Emperor Pra's response was one of arrogant dismissal. "Your pathetic threats hold no sway over the might of the Galactic Andromedan Empire," he scoffed, cutting the transmission. "Prepare to witness the downfall of your primitive civilization." As the Andromedan fleet took up position in the skies above Earth, the bridge of the Indomitable hummed with tense anticipation. "All ships, battle stations," Roberts ordered, a grim smile playing on his lips. "It's time we showed these alien bastards what us humans are made of. All weapons free. Let's give them hell, boys." A resounding cheer echoed through the flagship's bridge as the human vessel sprung into action. their sleek, obsidian forms slicing through the void. The Andromedan armada, assured of an easy victory, opened fire, their particle beams and torpedoes streaking towards the human ships. But to their shock, the Black Fleet simply vanished, their experimental cloaking devices rendering them invisible to the alien sensors. Pra's face contorted with frustration as his gunners reported no hits, the human vessels having disappeared as if swallowed by the void. In the blink of an eye, the Black Fleet rematerialized behind the Andromedan formation, unleashing a blistering barrage of torpedoes and particle beams that slammed into the alien shields, making them flare and crackle with strain. On the bridge of the Indomitable, the human crew erupted into cheers, witnessing the initial attack tear into the enemy fleet. But Admiral Roberts raised a hand, his eyes never leaving the tactical display. "Keep us moving, Thorn," he ordered. "Don't let them draw a bead on us." The battle had only just begun, and the fate of Earth now hung in the balance as the technologically advanced but outnumbered Black Fleet engaged the mighty Andromedan armada in a deadly dance of cat and mouse, their survival dependent on human ingenuity, tenacity, and the unwavering determination to defend their homeworld at all costs. The battle for Earth's sovereignty. The void above the blue marble of Earth echoed with the thunderous exchange of weapons fire as the Black Fleet and the Andromedan armada clashed in a confrontation that would determine the fate of humanity. Despite the human vessel's initial success in catching the aliens off guard, Admiral Roberts knew that the Black Fleet was outmatched in both numbers and raw firepower. Gripping the arms of his command chair, Roberts watched as the Indomitable shuddered under the impact of an Andromedan particle beam, sparks spraying from overloaded conduits. "Thorn, bring us about for another pass," he ordered, his voice steady despite the tension coiling in his gut. "It's time we showed them what human commitment looks like." Once again, the Black Fleet cloaked and slipped away, leaving the Andromedan ships to fire blindly at phantoms. Emperor Pra pounded a fist on his command console, his face twisted into a mask of outrage. "These damn humans are like ghosts, striking and fading," he growled, ordering his fleet to anticipate the humans' next move. "I will not allow my Grand Armada to be humbled by a pack of upstarts. Burn their wretched ships from the stars at any expense." High above the Earth, the deadly dance continued, the Black Fleet holding the line against the Andromedan horde, buying time with each daring strike. But the toll was mounting, and Admiral Roberts knew they couldn't sustain this strategy for long. They needed something more, a decisive, game-changing maneuver to turn the tide of the battle. "Commander Phillips," Roberts barked, his eyes narrowing, "initiate Operation Sandstorm." Phillips's eyes widened, a flicker of concern crossing his features. "Sir, are you sure? That tech is still experimental. We're out of options." With a curt nod, Roberts replied, "Do it." Deep within the bowels of each human ship, specialized launch tubes hummed to life, and a cloud of glittering specks erupted from the Black Fleet vessels, spreading outward in an ever-expanding sphere. Pra's triumphant grin faded as status reports flooded in from across his fleet. Weapon systems misfiring, shields fluctuating, navigation computers spewing gibberish. "What's happening?" the Andromedan Emperor demanded, his face ashen as his chief engineer pointed to a microscopic feed on a nearby screen. Tiny machines, barely visible to the naked eye, swarmed through the ship's circuitry, disrupting their systems. Pra's fury was palpable as he ordered a fleet-wide electromagnetic pulse, a wave of energy rippling out from the Andromedan ships. The swarm of microdrones went dark, their circuits fried, but the pulse took its toll on the alien fleet as well, leaving ships drifting, their systems temporarily knocked offline. Seizing the opportunity, the Black Fleet surged forward, beams of superheated plasma lancing out to tear into the weakened Andromedan shields. Torpedoes found their marks, blossoming into spheres of nuclear fire against alien hulls. All ships, ramming speed. Pra bellowed, his voice dripping with desperation. "Crush these vermin." The massive Andromedan vessels turned into engines of destruction, plowing forward with reckless abandon. Human captains tried to evade, but there were too many targets, and the losses mounted. Admiral Roberts watched in horror as the ESS Dauntless, captained by his old friend Michael, took a direct hit from an Andromedan battleship, the human vessel crumpling without effort and exploding in a silent fireball. Michael! Roberts cried out, his hands clenching the arms of his command chair. But there was no time to mourn, for more Andromedan ships were closing in, and the Black Fleet was running out of room to maneuver. With a heavy heart, Roberts knew there was only one option left. He opened a channel to all remaining human vessels, his voice carrying a resolute determination. "This is Admiral Roberts. Prepare for one final ghost jump. We're going straight into the heart of their formation. It's do or die time, people." As acknowledgments came in from the surviving ships, Roberts took a deep breath. In mere moments, they'd either pull off the impossible or go down in a blaze of glory. The fate of two civilizations hung in the balance as both sides braced for the Black Fleet's final, desperate assault. The tide turns. The Black Fleet materialized in a tight formation, mere kilometers from the Andromedan flagship. For a heartbeat, silence reigned. Then all hell broke loose. Fire. Admiral Roberts bellowed, and the human ships unleashed a torrent of destruction. Particle beams sliced through space, their searing light illuminating the void, while torpedoes streaked forward, leaving trails of plasma in their wake. The barrage slammed into the unprepared Andromedan fleet with devastating effect. Alien hulls crumpled under the relentless assault, explosions rippling across their formation as ship after ship succumbed to the human onslaught. The Black Fleet's weapons found their marks with deadly precision, exploiting every weakness in the enemy's defenses. On the bridge of the Andromedan flagship, Emperor Pras sprawled on the deck as his ship shuddered violently, alarms blaring their shrill cries. "Return fire," he roared, hauling himself to his feet. All batteries. The flagship's ventral cannons responded, twin beams of azure energy lancing out. They found their target, the human vessel Defiant. In an instant, the ship vanished, consumed by the destructive power of the Andromedan weapons. But the loss of one ship did nothing to slow the Black Fleet's attack. "Every shot must strike home, boys." Roberts's voice crackled over the comms, cold and determined. "Make it count." The human ships danced through space, their agility making them difficult targets for the Andromedan's cumbersome weapons. Yet the aliens' return fire was still deadly, and the Indomitable rocked as enemy fire hammered its shields. Roberts gripped his chair, watching as an Andromedan cruiser disintegrated under the Indomitable's broadside. The debris tore through two smaller alien ships, adding to the growing chaos in the Andromedan formation. "Keep us moving, Thorn," Roberts barked. "Don't let them draw the beat on us." The battle raged on, with the Black Fleet's superior maneuverability and the humans' sheer tenacity keeping the Andromedan juggernaut at bay. But the strain was beginning to show, and Roberts knew they couldn't maintain this pace for much longer. "Commander Phillips," he called out, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Initiate Operation Firestorm." Phillips's eyes widened, but he nodded and relayed the order. Deep within the human ships, specialized systems hummed to life, channeling the vessel's remaining power into a devastating final gambit. The Indomitable's particle cannons blazed to life, their searing beams carving a path through the Andromedan formation. Across the battlefield, the Black Fleet's ships followed suit, their weapons unleashing a maelstrom of destructive energy that tore through the alien vessels like a hot knife through butter. Pra watched in horror as his mighty armada crumbled under the human onslaught. "Impossible!" he roared, his fists pounding the console. "How can these primitives possess such power?" The Andromedan flagship shuddered, its shields flickering and failing. Pra knew they were on the verge of annihilation, and in a last, desperate act, he opened a channel to the human fleet. "Admiral Roberts," he hissed, his voice laced with a grudging respect. "You have proven the mettle of your species. I offer you a truce. Withdraw your forces, and we will depart this system, never to return." Roberts's eyes narrowed as he considered the Emperor's words. The fate of Earth and the future of the galaxy hung in the balance. With a deep breath, he made his decision. "Prepare to receive our terms, Pra," he said, his voice carrying the weight of history. "The humans will not be subjugated. You will acknowledge our sovereignty and withdraw your forces immediately. Failure to comply will result in the complete annihilation of your empire." The Andromedan Emperor's face contorted with rage, but he knew he had no choice. The humans had proven their strength, and to continue the fight would be the end of the Galactic Andromedan Empire. "Very well, Admiral," Pra spat. "Your terms are accepted. This is not the end. The galaxy will remember this day, and the rise of the Terran civilization." As the Andromedan armada turned and fled, the battered but victorious Black Fleet remained in orbit, their silhouettes a testament to the indomitable will of humanity. The stage was set for a new era, one where the Terrans would take their rightful place among the stars, their actions forever changing the balance of power in the galaxy. The new galactic order. In the aftermath of the epic confrontation, the Terran Defense Force and the surviving members of the Black Fleet were hailed as heroes across the planet. The news of humanity's defiant victory against the mighty Galactic Andromedan Empire sparked a wave of national pride and global unity, shattering the old divisions that had once plagued the nations of Earth. Admiral Ricky Roberts, now a legendary figure in the annals of human history, stood before a packed press conference, his weathered face etched with a mixture of pride and solemn reflection. "This was not a victory for any one nation or people," he declared, "but a triumph for all of humanity. We have proven that our species, despite our differences, can come together to face the challenges of a hostile galaxy. The future is ours to shape, and I have no doubt that we will rise to meet it with the same courage and determination." The new galactic order. In the aftermath of the epic confrontation, the Terran Defense Force and the surviving members of the Black Fleet were hailed as heroes across the planet. The news of humanity's defiant victory against the mighty Galactic Andromedan Empire sparked a wave of national pride and global unity, shattering the old divisions that had once plagued the nations of Earth. Admiral Ricky Roberts, now a legendary figure in the annals of human history, stood before a packed press conference, his weathered face etched with a mixture of pride and solemn reflection. "This was not a victory for any one nation or people," he declared, "but a triumph for all of humanity. We have proven that our species, despite our differences, can come together to face the challenges of a hostile galaxy. The future is ours to shape, and I have no doubt that we will rise to meet it with the same courage and determination that saw us through this trial by fire." The Admiral's words resonated with the people of Earth, igniting a newfound spirit of exploration and scientific advancement. In the months that followed, the Terran Space Agency launched a series of ambitious missions, sending probes and crewed vessels to the furthest reaches of the solar system and beyond. The lessons learned in the battle against the Andromedans were applied to the development of even more advanced propulsion systems, shielding technologies, and weapons platforms, preparing humanity for the challenges that lay ahead. Meanwhile, the Galactic Andromedan Empire, once a seemingly unstoppable force, found itself in a state of upheaval. Emperor Pra's humiliating defeat at the hands of the upstart Terran civilization had shaken the very foundations of the imperial order, and discontent began to simmer among the subjugated alien races within the empire's domains. Sensing an opportunity, the Terran diplomats reached out to these disgruntled factions, offering trade agreements, technology transfers, and the promise of a new era of cooperation and mutual respect. Slowly but surely, alliances began to form, as the once disparate alien civilizations recognized the value of aligning themselves with the emergent human power. In the imperial capital, Pra found himself facing a growing chorus of voices demanding his abdication. Realizing that his reign was nearing its end, the emperor made a bold gambit. He would seek a lasting peace with the Terrans, officially recognizing their sovereignty and independence in exchange for their assistance in quelling the unrest within the Empire's borders. It was a decision that would forever alter the balance of power in the galaxy. As the Andromedan forces withdrew from the Sol system, the Terran Defense Force, led by the battle-hardened veterans of the Black Fleet, established a permanent presence in the solar system. Orbital stations and lunar outposts were rapidly expanded, serving as hubs for further exploration and scientific research. The Terran Diplomatic Corps, meanwhile, began the delicate task of negotiating treaties and trade agreements with the former Andromedan vassal states. Slowly but surely, a new galactic order began to take shape, with Earth at the center of a burgeoning network of alien alliances and partnerships. For Admiral Roberts, the transition from war to peace was a bittersweet experience. While he took immense pride in humanity's achievements, the memory of the fallen weighed heavily on his conscience. As he stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, gazing out at the vast expanse of the cosmos, he knew that the battles to come would be no less daunting than the ones they had already faced. "The galaxy will never be the same," he murmured, his voice tinged with a hint of melancholy. "We've earned our place among the stars, but the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty. We must be vigilant, for there are powers in this universe that will seek to challenge us, to test the limits of our resolve." With a deep breath, the Admiral squared his shoulders, his expression hardening with determination. "But we are ready," he said, his voice ringing with conviction. "Humanity has faced the worst the galaxy has to offer and emerged victorious. We will continue to push the boundaries of exploration, to forge new alliances, and to defend our rightful place in this vast and wondrous cosmos. The future is ours to shape, and we will not falter." As the Indomitable's engines roared to life, the Black Fleet set course for the next chapter in humanity's cosmic odyssey, their presence a testament to the indomitable spirit that had carried them through their greatest trial. The galaxy would soon learn that the Terrans were no longer mere upstarts, but a force to be reckoned with, a civilization unafraid to stand tall in the face of adversity and carve out their own destiny among the stars.